Continuing from the previous episode 368. Chapter 1297. Intense fight, dense, bone-chilling killing desire spread across the entire place. It was as though the air had solidified at this moment. The originally deathly quiet air above the forest had become just like winter, emitting an icy coldness that chilled one's heart. Xiao Yan stood on the large body of the 9 serene deep-ground python. He looked at Yao Hua Liangjun 4-men group in the distance. After which, he glanced at Hua Jin below, who was looking at him with ill intent. 4 6-star Do Zuns. The ferocious reputation of the profound sky sect was really not earned in vain. Young Master Xiao Yan, what should we do? Qing Lin frowned slightly and asked because of this sudden situation. What else can we do? The profound sky sect has actually dispatched such a great force. I think that they are intending on capturing me. Xiao Yan smiled faintly. A bone-chilling coldness surged within his dark black eyes as he softly said, however, with just the 4 of you, you have really underestimated me quite greatly. Your tone is indeed quite arrogant. The strength of that fire lotus of yours might be great, but if the 4 of us join hands, we will be able to forcefully resist it. Without that kind of fire lotus attack, what can you be in the eyes of the 4 of us? Yao Hua Liangjun laughed coldly. An arc was slowly lifted on Xiao Yan's face when he heard this. His hand seal changed before they suddenly stilled. Vast and mighty aura suddenly surged out from within Xiao Yan's body in all directions like a volcano. What you describe is the case 1 month ago. Majestic aura spread across the sky. Waves after waves of heat was quietly formed, causing the air of this place to swiftly become dry. 4-star Do Zun. Yao Hua Liangjun's expression changed slightly when he sensed this aura of Xiao Yan. Although he had already obtained word of this from Hua Jin, the shock in his heart was still quite great now that he had seen it with his own eyes. Within a short 1 month, Xiao Yan's strength had rose by 2 stars. This training speed could be described by the word, frightening. It should be known that if an ordinary Do Zun was to train normally, it was likely that he would need to cultivate a decade or longer in order to obtain such an increase in his strength. Yet, this amount of time had been forcefully shrunk by many times in Xiao Yan's hands. The qi method that this brat practices is a little strange. If we capture him this time around, we can force him to tell me about the qi method. If I can obtain such a qi method, my achievements in the future will definitely be quite great. Even within the profound sky sect, there will be hardly anyone who can contend against me. Yao Hua Liangjun's eyes flickered slightly. A greed flashed across his eyes. A mere 4-star Do Zun. You still do not possess the qualification to do as you please in the hands of the 4 of us. That gray-robed elder, who was leading the group, glanced at Xiao Yan with an indifferent gaze. He appeared a little impatient when he spoke until this point. He waved his sleeve and said, "This is the final time. Are you going to leave with us or shall we beat you half to death and bring you with us? This skin of mine is a little thick. I shall choose the latter." Xiao Yan smilingly said, "You may." The expression of the gray-clothed elder was dark and dense. He nodded slowly before he suddenly stepped forward and spoke in a deep voice. "This brat is extremely cunning. Attack together and capture him first." "Aye." Yao Hua Liangjun and the 2 others nodded when they heard this. The former still had a deep memory of that fire lotus attack of Xiao Yan even until now. If he was alone, he would really not have the guts to attack. With the destructive force of that fire lotus, it was likely that he would lose his life immediately should he be careless. "Young Master Xiao Yan, I will block one of them. That slut below shall be dealt with by the 9 serene deep-ground python." A solemnness surfaced on Qing Lin's face when she saw the other party beginning to act. This time around, the other party had come prepared. 4 6-star elite Do Zuns. This kind of lineup was really quite strong. They were few in numbers. Should they be careless, it was likely that they would really end up dying in the most unexpected place today. After her voice sounded, a green light flashed within her jade-green eyes. Over a dozen figures surfaced in the sky in an orderly manner. Immediately, they rushed towards Hua Jin under Qing Lin's orders. This large group of human figures that had suddenly appeared and rushed over also gave Hua Jin a shock. However, after sensing that the strongest of this group was merely a 2-star Do Zun, she finally sighed in relief. She spoke in disdain. "You actually dare to take out some lowly creatures to embarrass yourself?" Qing Lin could not be bothered with Hua Jin's words. After having released all the experts that were sealed in her eyes, her face also became grave. Both of her hands formed numerous seals in a lightning-like fashion. Following the change in her seals, a fierce aura from the ancient times also slowly surged out from within her body. Upon sensing the ferocious aura that spread from within Qing Lin's body, Xiao Yan understood that she had already begun to use the spiritual strength of the ancient heaven serpent. Immediately, he waved his hand. 11 puppets appeared in a flash. Within the blink of an eye, it had formed a formation. Energy was transferred and it swiftly caused the dark gold color on the Sky Demon puppet to become increasingly deep. With Xiao Yan's current strength, he should be able to fight against 2 6-star Do Zun after using the Skyfire 3 mysterious change. Qing Lin was currently only able to restrain one person. However, the other party still possessed 3 6-star Do Zun. Hence, he could only summon the Sky Demon puppet and temporarily fight. Although the Sky Demon puppet could barely be able to fight with a 6-star Do Zun with its strength, it should still be able to delay time. During the time that Xiao Yan summoned the Sky Demon puppet, the ferocious aura of Qing Lin by the side also became increasingly rich. Fortunately, both of her eyes still retained their clarity. Clearly, with her current strength, she was already able to begin controlling the ancient heaven serpent's soul. Young Master Xiao Yan, I will attack first. Qing Lin's body rushed out in a lightning-like fashion after her soft cry sounded. That ferociousness that permeated the sky also caused Yao Hua Liangjun's 4-men group to have a change in expression. It is unexpected that this little girl is also troublesome to deal with. Fourth brother, I'll leave it to you. That leading gray-robed elder glanced at Qing Lin, who was rushing over, with some surprise before he frowned and said, No problem. A somewhat skinny old man nodded with a shady face. Immediately, his body moved and he appeared in front of Qing Lin. He did not say anything else as his dark and cold Do Qi surged out from his palm. After which, it ruthlessly slammed towards Qing Lin. Humph! Qing Lin let out a cold snort when she saw this skinny old man attacking. She did not give in. Green light lingered within her jade-green eyes as she directly moved forward to meet him. Xiao Yan, I really want to see whether you can escape from the palm of my profound sky sect today. Remember the name of this elderly self, Shenlu Gizan. The eyes of the gray-robed old man were dense and cold. He led Yao Hua Liangjun and the other expert from the profound sky sect and formed a ring shape, surrounding Xiao Yan in the process. Attack! The moment Xiao Yan was surrounded, that so-called Shenluo Gizan's eyes revealed a ferocious expression. A cold cry sounded. 3 vast and mighty Do Qi surged out immediately. The 3 figures rushed over towards Xiao Yan with lightning-like speed. That ferocious attack directly caused the entire space to solidify. Go! Xiao Yan's back shook. That green-red bone wings were extended from it. His body swiftly pulled back. With a flick of his finger, that Sky Demon puppet transformed into a golden light that blocked one of the expert from the profound sky sect. Skyfire 3 mysterious change. First change. Second change. Third change. The seals formed by Xiao Yan's hands changed as his body pulled back explosively. The Do Qi over his body continued to soar in that instant. Within a short moment, it had broken the 4-star level. A moment later, the strength of his aura was no longer inferior to that of Yao Hua Liangjun. The Skyfire 3 mysterious change of the Burning Flame Valley. Shenluo Gizan frowned when he saw Xiao Yan's aura soaring. He immediately laughed coldly. Do not hold back. The Skyfire 3 mysterious change has a time limit. When the time's up, he will be unable to escape today. Understood. Yao Hua Liangjun's expression was dense and cold as he nodded. The foldable fan in his hand emitted a faint, unusual glow. His hand was raised before the fan fell. That foldable fan appeared to become extremely sharp blades that tore through the space and cut towards Xiao Yan's throat. Faced with Yao Hua Liangjun's swift and ferocious attack, Xiao Yan merely tilted his head a little and narrowly dodged that sharp foldable fan. His right hand was clenched into a fist before ruthlessly smashing furiously onto Yao Hua Liangjun's head. Humph! Yao Hua Liangjun naturally did not dare to underestimate Xiao Yan's current strength. After having used the Skyfire 3 mysterious change, Xiao Yan's strength was not any inferior to him. Adding the might of the heavenly flame, there was even a sign of it having surpassed him in a head-on battle. Bang! A cautious thought flashed across Yao Hua Liangjun's heart. He flipped his wrist and the foldable fan in his hand was completely opened with a ripping sound. After which, it blocked in front of him and forcefully received this punch by Xiao Yan. The punch landed on the foldable fan. That purple-brown flame that contained a dense whiteness suddenly surged out from Xiao Yan's palm. After which, it lingered over the foldable fan in a ferocious manner and swiftly spread over Yahua Liangjun's body. The flame spread and the sleeve of Yahua Liangjun turned into ashes in an instant. However, his reaction was also quite quick. When the flame spread over, his vast and mighty dou qi erupted from within his body and surged explosively towards the flame with the intention of extinguishing all of them. However, a strange scene appeared when the dou qi touched the flame. One could see that those dou qi that came into contact with the flame would turn into substance like ice crystals in an instant. Hence, within a short moment, Yahua Liangjun's arm was covered by a thick layer of ice crystal in front of his shocked eyes. What a strange heavenly flame! This unexpected change caused Yahua Liangjun's expression to change drastically. His body pulled back hurriedly. Compared to a month ago, the heavenly flame of Xiao Yan seemed to have become even more powerful and mysterious. Xiao Yan was just about to give chase after having forced back Yahua Liangjun with one attack when an elderly figure flashed and appeared in front of him. His shady face contained traces of dense coldness. A dark black large hand directly penetrated through the space like a ghost claw, carrying a kind of dangerous feeling as it grabbed towards Xiao Yan's head with lightning-like speed. Try and receive a 9 hell hand from this old me. If you find any errors, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know so we can fix it as soon as possible. Continuing from the previous episode 369. Chapter 1298. Qi method revealing its might. Xiao Yan did not give in as he sensed the dense cold wind that spread from the large dark black hand. He coldly laughed. Do you think that I am afraid of you, old ghost, in a one-on-one battle? After his cry sounded, a flame hurriedly gathered on his palm. After which, he suddenly threw a punch forward. It heavily collided with Shenluo Gizan's large dark black hand. Octane blast! The wind around the fist suddenly became sharp as it violently collided with the large dark black hand. A shocking noise abruptly rang out. A rippling force also rapidly spread. The surrounding space gradually became distorted. Bam bam! The fist and palm collided, and a strong wind erupted in a circular shape. Xiao Yan and Shenluo Gizan's bodies trembled. Their feet took a couple of steps back. With Xiao Yan's current strength and the Skyfire 3 mysterious flame, he possessed the strength to exchange blows with a 6-star dou zun. Moreover, the flame mantra qi method had evolved into a Tien class qi method. Dou qi surged over when it was circulated. He did not need to worry about being exhausted to death should the other party take turns attacking. HMPH, not bad. You do indeed possess some ability. Surprise flashed across Shenluo Gizan's eyes since his palm ended up in a draw with Xiao Yan's fist. His eyes slid to Yahua Liangjun. At this moment, Yahua Liangjun was rapidly resolving the flames around him. Although he appeared a little miserable, the flames did not cause him much harm. The strength of a 6-star dou zun was not merely for show. While Shenluo Gizan was pulling back, Xiao Yan's eyes swept around him. Qing Lin's battle in the distance was progressing well. With the strangeness of the triple jade green snake flower pupil and the help of the ancient heaven serpent soul, that expert from the profound sky decked was unable to do anything to her within this short amount of time. However, the other two battlegrounds were not looking good. Even after having experienced the strengthening by the formation, the Sky Demon puppet could only fight against a 4-star dou zun. That elder from the profound sky sect was a 6-star dou zun. The Sky Demon puppet was naturally at a disadvantage while exchanging blows with him. If its body could feel pain and wasn't extremely hard, it was likely that it would have turned into a pile of mud. Even though this was the case, sparks continued to sputter away from the Sky Demon puppet's body because of that fellow. Dents were starting to appear all over its hard body. While the Sky Demon puppet had fallen to a disadvantage, the many experts controlled by Qing Lin were also not facing a good situation. Although there were many of them, their strengths were all much weaker than Hua Jin. If there weren't two dou zun experts of the 2nd star blocking her, it was likely that the others would have already been finished off by her rising and falling blade. From the looks of the situation, they were clearly unable to endure much longer. Xiao Yan's eyes swiftly flicked over these battlegrounds. His brows involuntarily knit. The situation this time around was indeed a little troublesome. These fellows from the profound sky sect were not as easy to deal with as he had imagined. "Brat, at this moment, you should take care of yourself first." A cold laugh was let out in front of Xiao Yan while he was frowning. He raised his head, only to see Shenluo Gizan and Yahua Liangjun rushing over at the same time. Majestic Do Qi lingered over their bodies. Their murderous intent clearly indicated that they were beginning to attack together. "Hu!" Xiao Yan let out a long breath. His expression regained its calmness. A vast and mighty Do Qi swiftly rotated within his veins. A frightening strength that could destroy mountains and rivers rapidly circulated within his muscles. "Attack!" Shenluo Gizan's expression turned chilly as he cried out in a cold voice. Both Yahua Liangjun and him rushed over at the same time. Two unusually ferocious Do Qi pillars cut through the air. They were accompanied by a deafening roar as they explosively rushed toward Xiao Yan. Xiao Yan's expression was grave as he faced the combined attack. He clenched both of his hands. The purple-brown flames in his palms contained hints of a dense whiteness as they explosively surged out. After which, they formed into two large fire hands and forcefully collided with the Do Qi pillars. An earth-shaking explosion erupted. Chi! Do Qi slowly expanded across the sky. Its might caused the space to form a distorted illusory form. Looking from a distance, it appeared as though there was a mirage above the forest. 9 Hell Hand. Evil Wind Tear. Shenluo Gizan and Yahua Liangjun joined hands. Numerous incomparably ferocious Do Qi attacks continuously poured out. They wildly flew toward Xiao Yan. It was obvious that the two intended to rely on their numbers to forcefully grind Xiao Yan to death. Flame-splitting tsunami. Open mountain seal. Xiao Yan's expression was grave when he faced These's two crazy attacks, but powerful Do Qi was unleashed as he pleased. He then randomly attacked and collided with the attacks of the duo. Bang 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 bang. The sky had become extremely excited because of this incomparably intense battle. Bright, beautiful energies exploded apart like fireworks. The explosive sounds of energy colliding made themselves known. One could even vaguely sense the energy ripples within a 50-kilometer radius. Seeing Xiao Yan grow fiercer the more he fought, Shenluo Gizan started to frown in a tight manner. Such a prolonged battle had exhausted their Do Qi by a frightening extent. The two of them felt that the Do Qi within their bodies had been greatly reduced. However, Xiao Yan did not show any signs of weakening and instead appeared to be full of energy. "Yahua!" Shenluo Gizan suddenly cried out after gently inhaling a breath of air. Upon hearing his cry, Yahua Liangjun slightly nodded. The aura all over his body suddenly changed. An extremely rich killing desire slowly spread from both their bodies. Xiao Yan frowned upon sensing their killing auras, which had suddenly turned demon-like. This kind of feeling was not foreign to him. The old me shall see how much you can endure today. The murderous auras swiftly spread. Shenluo Gizan's eyes suddenly widened. He sharply cried out, "Heaven-offering demon hand." A substance-like killing fog billowed from their bodies after his cry sounded. The fog formed a cluster of dark clouds in front of them. The dark cloud moved and a 100-meter large dark black hand suddenly rushed out. After which, it reached toward Xiao Yan. The dark black large hand was filled with a murderous aura that caused one's heart to chill. This kind of desire to kill was formed from the will of the duo. If this hand were to strike Xiao Yan, it would definitely damage his resolve. The heaven-offering demon hand, huh? Xiao Yan merely laughed as he studied the enormous hand that grabbed at him from all directions. His body trembled. A similar wave of sharp killing desire surged out of his body in a lightning-like fashion. Within a short instant, another dark black hand rapidly formed in front of shocked eyes. After which, the hand rushed over and violently collided with the large hand. Bang! The two collided. However, no loud explosions appeared. Only a slight muffled sound could be heard. The murderous intent widely spread. Shenluo Gizan's and Yahua Liangjun's breathing became heavier once they were infected by this murderous aura. The two auras began to erode each other after they collided. After which, they slowly scattered. The desire to kill suddenly dispersed. 3 pale-looking people appeared within it. "You actually know one of the ultimate and most guarded sect skills of my profound sky sect, the heaven-offering demon hand?" Shenluo Gizan's expression was full of disbelief as he stared at Xiao Yan. That Do skill that Xiao Yan had used earlier was obviously the same as theirs. Xiao Yan ignored the stern cry. The heaven-offering demon hand was something he had obtained from the hands of Yi Chen of the Profound Sky Sect. Xiao Yan had frequently practiced it after obtaining it. However, this was the first time that he had used it. The effect he had obtained appeared not bad. Do not give him the opportunity to relax. He has also been exhausted. Yao Hua Liangjun's expression was a little ugly as he yelled in a deep voice. Shenluo Gizan slightly nodded. He was just about to attack when he saw a strange smile suddenly lift onto Xiao Yan's face. Xiao Yan then slowly parted his hand. The two of them suddenly sensed the natural energy around them start to boil like water. Wave after wave of substance-like energy continuously rushed toward Xiao Yan's body. With the support of this vast and mighty energy, the paleness on Xiao Yan's face slowly disappeared. This is Tien Class Qi method? Shenluo Gizan's group was immediately dull when they witnessed this scene. With their experience, they were naturally aware that this act of plundering energy was something that could only be achieved by a legendary Tien Class Qi method. No wonder the two of us are unable to exhaust him no matter how we fight. This fellow has the support of a Tien Class Qi method. The mouths of the duo twitched. By possessing the support of a Tien Class Qi method, Xiao Yan's Do Qi was basically endless. The two of them, on the other hand, would experience a time when their Do Qi was exhausted. Just how were they going to fight such a battle? Xiao Yan's eyes were slowly opened while the two were shocked. He sensed that his body was filled with a lot more Do Qi, causing him to involuntarily smile. He mockingly asked the other two, again? Shenluo Gizan's expression became gloomy when he saw the way Xiao Yan acted. He said, "You should not act so pleased. Our Profound Sky Sect is not the only one interested in you." After uttering these words, Shenluo Gizan's eyes landed on the forest below. He cried out, "If you do not attack, this brat will end up escaping again." "Ha ha, Elder Shenluo, please be reassured that he will not be able to run. I was afraid that he possesses a spatial jade that Yao Chen made him. Therefore, I sealed this space first." Shenluo Gizan's cry had just sounded when a faint laugh rang out. The sky became slightly distorted and a figure slowly appeared. Xiao Yan's heart sank when he saw the familiar figure that appeared in the sky. "Ninth Tianjun, even you have come. If you find any errors, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know so we can fix it as soon as possible." Continuing from the previous episode 370. Chapter 1299. 1 vs 3 space distorted as a figure slowly appeared. The figure had blue hair and wore blue robes. This figure was the 9th Tianjun, the person who had led the experts from the Hall of Soul to the Falling Star Pavilion back then. Xiao Yan remembered this person well. If Yao Lao had not advanced to a Ban Sheng, the Falling Star Pavilion would have ended up with great losses during that attack. It is unexpected that even this person has come. Xiao Yan's eyes slightly flickered. From the looks of the situation, it seemed that the Hall of Souls and the Profound Sky Sect showed signs of ganging up. This discovery caused him to feel deflated a little. The Profound Sky Sect might not be comparable to the Hall of Souls, but it was still a strong faction. Should these two parties cooperate, a great pressure would fall on the Falling Star Pavilion. "Xiao Yan, you are really quite bold. If you had remained within the Falling Star Pavilion, this one wouldn't have been able to do anything to you. It is unexpected that you actually dare to come running out alone." 9th Tianjun smiled as he looked at Xiao Yan and faintly commented on the situation. Xiao Yan's expression was gloomy. However, he did not say anything. Some thoughts rotated within his heart. The strength of this 9th Tianjun was at least at the 7th to 8th star level. Even after Xiao Yan had unleashed the Skyfire 3 mysterious flame, he would not be able to fight against him. Moreover, from what he had said earlier, this space had been sealed by him. Hence, the spatial jade token that teacher had given him had also lost its effect. Xiao Yan gently exhaled within his heart. He did not expect the situation to become so dangerous. However, his current strength had soared. Hence, he did not truly feel a despair. With the Annihilation Fire Lotus and the Great Heaven Creation Palm, he believed that even this 9th Tianjun would have some trouble forcefully receiving them. Moreover, the Flame Mantra Qi method had evolved to a Tien Class Qi method. He would not need to worry about entering a weakened state after using the Annihilation Fire Lotus. "Brat, you should just surrender. Do you really think that you will be able to escape the hands of the three of us with just your strength alone? Shenluo Gizan spoke in a sinister manner. Yahua Liangjun gently waved the foldable fan in his hand. He looked at the gloomy Xiao Yan, and an additional caution quietly appeared within his heart. He had exchanged blows with Xiao Yan back then and naturally understood the great strength of that annihilation fire lotus. Currently, this fellow was being forced to a dead end. Should he become hot-headed and go all out, it was likely that he would fight until everyone suffered. That may not be certain. Xiao Yan coldly laughed. He rotated his right hand and a faint golden light appeared on his palm. Do Qi whistled within his body at this moment. Xiao Yan, don't you wish to rescue your father? The ninth Tianjun narrowed both of his eyes when he saw the golden light in Xiao Yan's palm. He had personally witnessed Xiao Yan unleash the great heaven creation palm. Even old ghost Jai Xing was killed on the spot. Thus, he feared this attack. He suddenly cried out when he saw that Xiao Yan wanted to use it. The golden light on Xiao Yan's palm became sluggish when he heard the cold cry of the ninth Tianjun. Xiao Yan glared at him. Follow this seat back to the Hall of Souls and you will be able to meet your father. If you dare to resist, this seat will kill your father after returning. The ninth Tianjun spoke with a cold and indifferent face. Xiao Yan's eyes were dark and cold as he stared at the ninth Tianjun. A moment later, he laughed. His tone was calm as he replied, to think that you are actually the ninth Tianjun of the Hall of Souls. You even try to use such a foolish tactic. I am not a fool. Only by living properly outside will I truly be able to rescue my father. Once I land in your hands, my Xiao clan will truly be finished. Therefore, this threat of yours is useless against me. The ninth Tianjun's eyes became gloomy when they registered Xiao Yan's calm face. He did not expect Xiao Yan to act this way. Of course, it was just as Xiao Yan had said. As long as he was alive, he would be able to rescue Xiao Zan. However, once Xiao Yan landed in the hands of the Hall of Souls, this slight chance would disappear. This kind of reasoning was not complicated. A person who valued relationships enough to travel a great distance from the Jia Empire to the Central Plains in order to rescue another possessed a high level of reasoning and was able to accept certain choices. Ninth Tianjun, this brat is as cunning as a fox. He will not fall for this trick of yours. Attacking together and capturing him is the right path. Yahua Liangjun responded. The ninth Tianjun's expression was indifferent as he nodded. He gently took a step forward. The space in front of him became distorted as his body disappeared almost instantly. The next moment, he appeared in front of Xiao Yan in a ghost-like manner. His 5 fingers formed a claw shape and carried a sharp wind as they grabbed at Xiao Yan's throat. The space crumbled wherever the wind from the claw passed. In that case, this seat shall personally act and capture you back. Xiao Yan was expressionless when faced with the sharp wind that suddenly attacked. A faint golden light lingered over his right hand as his fist was thrown heavily. Bang! 2 clusters of wind met in the air. A deep explosion suddenly spread apart. The wind ripples spread in a circular fashion, tearing at the surrounding space until numerous dark black lines appeared. Bam bam! Xiao Yan's body trembled when the two collided. His feet staggered over a dozen steps back. Only then did he stabilize his body. He lifted his somewhat numb right hand as the solemn expression in his eyes became even denser. After these exchanges, he completely understood the strength of this ninth Tianjun. The ninth Tianjun was at the peak of the 7-star level. Only 1 step more and he would reach the 8-star level. Fortunately, my right hand had been tempered by the golden spirit. Otherwise, some injuries would definitely have occurred during this collision. Xiao Yan's eyes flickered. The peak of the 7th star was too strong. He could barely deal with an attack even at his current strength. If he did not use the Great Heaven Creation Palm or the Annihilation Fire Lotus, it would be impossible for him to put up a fight. Ninth Tianjun, do not give this brat any time to rest. He practices a Tian-class Qi method and is able to recover very quickly. If things drag on like this, something unexpected might happen. Shenluo Guzan and Yahua Liangjun came over in a flash after watching the ninth Tianjun reveal his great might to force Xiao Yan back. Shenluo Guzan let out a loud cry and the two attacked together. Incomparably ferocious Do Qi pillars violently rushed toward Xiao Yan without giving him any time to rest. Being able to get all 3 of us to attack together, Xiao Yan, you can be considered someone who is thought highly by us. The 9th Tianjun did not oppose Shenluo Gizan's suggestion. His mission was to capture Xiao Yan. The mission from last time had failed, which displeased the hall chief. This time around, he had come out on his own accord. If he could capture Xiao Yan, he would have made up for his failure. Hence, he could not bother about the way this looked. Everything could be discussed after capturing Xiao Yan. The 9th Tianjun did not continue to hesitate after this thought flashed through his heart. His body moved, and he once again rushed forward. A majestic dou qi surged in all directions when he lifted his hand. Its might caused even the sky to tremble. Bang bang bang, the surging energy in the sky continued to explode. Faced with the attacks of 2 6-star dozuns and 1 7-star dozun, even Xiao Yan was in a dangerous situation. If he did not have the help of his speed and the might of his heavenly flames, he would have been seriously injured by these three. Nevertheless, as the battle became white-hot, the situation became worse and worse for him. Bang! Xiao Yan was once again forced to collide with the palm of the 9th Tianjun. After which, the bone wings behind his body swiftly flapped and 2 after-images appeared. Only then did he narrowly dodge the sneak attacks made by Yahua Liangjun and Shenluo Gizan. Taking advantage of this opportunity, he withdrew from the area surrounded by those three. Xiao Yan's expression turned dark and dense after having pulled back. A golden light surged on his right palm. Dou qi surged out of his body and poured into his palm. Be careful, he is about to use a Tian-class Dou skill. The 9th Tianjun's body suddenly came to an abrupt halt when he saw what Xiao Yan was doing. He informed them in a dense voice. The 9th Tianjun's words startled Shenluo Gizan and Yahua Liangjun. They began to rapidly pull back. Great heaven creation palm. Xiao Yan's expression was gloomy. The energy on his palm brightened. An instant later, a strange black glow appeared. His palm slammed toward the empty space below. Kai! A strange spherical black light immediately spread with lightning-like speed after his palm was pushed down. At the same time, an extremely strong suction force erupted from the spherical light. The 9th Tianjun and the 2 others slowed after being influenced by the frightening suction force. They looked at the black light sphere that was rapidly expanding. The 9th Tianjun's expression sank. He cried out, "Do not panic. A Tian-class Dou skill might be powerful, but the 3 of us can still receive it if we join hands." The 9th Tianjun's body was the first to turn after crying out. Dou qi surged out of his body without any restraint. The vast and mighty dou qi caused tiny raindrops to slowly fall. Shenluo Gizan and Yahua Liangjun hesitated for a moment after seeing the 9th Tianjun stop fleeing. They also clenched their teeth and summoned all the dou qi within their bodies. In an instant, dou qi whistled through the sky like a hurricane that brought about a whining sound. Ha! Dou qi surged explosively out of the bodies of the 3 of them. They formed 3 dou qi pillars that were 1,000 feet large. The pillars lingered over the heads of the 3 of them and rotated once around. After which, they emitted a swoosh sound as they rushed over to collide with the black light circle. Bang! A couple of extremely frightening energies collided together. At this moment, even the sun became dim. A frightening energy storm expanded from the point of contact. The densely packed trees below appeared like harvested wheat. With a crushing sound, their trunks were broken in spectacular ways. The energy storm spread. That unmatchable black light sphere was forcefully prevented from spreading. However, the suction force within it remained terrifying. The 3,000-foot-long dou qi pillars were swallowed into the empty black hole. Only then did the sphere slowly disappear. Seeing the black light sphere disappearing, Shenluo Gizan and Yahua Liangjun both heaved a sigh of relief. A horror was present in their eyes. If the 9th Tianjun hadn't been here, just the 2 of them alone wouldn't have been able to contend with this frightening Dou skill. The 9th Tianjun's face was a little pale. Clearly, he was exhausted by this act. Fortunately, he had managed to block Xiao Yan's killing blow. Next, he slowly raised his head. His eyes were dense as he stared at Xiao Yan a short distance away and ferociously laughed. Now, this seat shall see what other tactics you have. A cold smile also surfaced on Xiao Yan's face when he saw the 9th Tianjun's ferocious smile. He clenched his hand and 4 types of heavenly flames appeared. Relax, I will ensure that all of you will eat to your heart's content. The ferocious smile on the face of the 9th Tianjun turned green when he saw the 4 types of heavenly flames in Xiao Yan's palm. Oh, little brother Xiao Yan. I have finally found you. A spatial crack line suddenly split open while the ninth Tianan's face was green. Following the formation of the spatial crack, a strong figure anxiously stumbled out of it. He cleared his throat and wailed at Xiao Yan. Xiao Yan was startled when he saw this familiar figure. He chin a stunned voice, "Hey Qing. If you find any errors, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know so we can fix it as soon as possible." Continuing from the previous episode 371. Chapter 1300. Sent flying. The human figure that came out of the spatial crack had a burly build, with the back of a tiger and the waist of a bear. The figure emitted a rich, ferocious aura. His appearance surprisingly resembled the expert from the ancient Void Dragon tribe, whom Xiao Yan had met, He Qing. "Old brother He Qing. Why have you come?" Xiao Yan was also startled as this human figure suddenly appeared. His tone was filled with surprise. "Oh, I have come to look for you regarding some matters. Those old fellows from the tribe have dispatched me to find you." "Damn it. Fortunately, Zi Yan left a dragon seal on you. Otherwise, I really would have ended up looking for you until I died." He Qing looked at Xiao Yan as though he had found his savior. He hurriedly rushed over and heaved a great sigh of relief. "Look for me?" Xiao Yan knit his brows upon hearing this. What matter could lead an ancient void dragon to him? Could it be, has something happened to Zi Yan? Xiao Yan's eyes suddenly widened as he turned to He Qing and asked a question in a deep voice. "She is not in trouble. However, there is something that requires your help. If you have the time, you should leave with me." He Qing rubbed his head as he spoke. Xiao Yan hesitated for a moment when he saw He Qing's somewhat grave expression. After which, he nodded. It seemed that the matter was quite a big one. Otherwise, it would not cause an expert like He Qing to be this frantic. "Once I resolve the trouble here, I will take a trip with you." "Is there some trouble?" He Qing recovered only after hearing Xiao Yan's words. He turned his head, took a look, and continued in a stunned manner. "It is that old Sok Mo Yu from the Hall of Souls. Do you remember this Uncle He Qing?" He Qing? The ninth Tianjun was slightly startled. His expression was gloomy as he suddenly appeared to have remembered something. His expression changed a little as he exclaimed, "You are He Qing from the ancient Void Dragon tribe? Is the name, He Qing, something that an old Sok like you can say? With your position as the ninth, you do not possess the qualification to do so." He Qing wrapped his arms in front of his chest. He curled his mouth and did not give any face to the ninth Tianjun. The ninth Tianan's face became extremely dark and gloomy when he heard He Qing's rude words. However, he did not reveal any fury because he clearly understood that this large man in front of him was an extremely troublesome fellow. Even he was no match for this person. This friend, this old self is an elder of the Profound Sky Sect, Shenluo Gizan. This Xiao Yan is a person that my Profound Sky Sect intends to capture. I hope that this friend will not intervene. The ninth Tianjun was aware of He Qing's background, but Shenluo Gizan was not. After seeing Xiao Yan gradually fall into a disadvantage, how could they let him just flee? So Shenluo Gizan cupped his hands together and spoke in a deep voice. "Profound Sky Sect? What is this thing?" He Qing knit his brows. He waved his hands somewhat impatiently and said, "All of you should hurry up and get lost. I am looking for little brother Xiao Yan regarding some matters. Stop wasting this father's damn time." "You!" Shenluo Gizan and Yahua Liangzhen's expressions changed after hearing He Qing's vulgarities. They both furiously cried out, "You dare to disrespect my Profound Sky Sect? You are seeking death." After their loud cries sounded, the two of them stepped through empty space. Their bodies immediately rushed forward like lightning. Dark and cold Do Qi violently smashed toward He Qing without being held back. Two 6-star Do Zuns actually possessed the courage to scream in front of his father? He Qing laughed out of anger when he saw the two rushing over and advanced instead of pulling back. Both of his fists tightened and the muscles all over his body fluctuated in a strange manner. Finally, he sent his fists forward without any fancy attacks. Bang! Two metal fists smashed out and formed two black spatial marks. The black spatial marks moved quickly before violently colliding with the duo. Just what is this fellow's origin? The bodies of Shenluo Gizan's group trembled after the collision. Their expressions immediately turned pale. The frightening strength they faced, which seemed to be able to destroy everything, caused a terror to surge from deep within their hearts. Grug. The terror had just appeared when their throats filled with something sweet. They both spat out a mouthful of fresh blood. Their bodies flew back like kites with their strings broken. They violently shot into the forest below, smashing into the ground and forming a 100-meter deep pit. The powerful remnant force completely destroyed the large trees within a 100-meter radius. Clap clap. He Qing sent the two flying with a punch from each fist. After which, he patted his hands together. His face was filled with ridicule. His eyes, which contained some ill intent, glanced at the gloomy face of the 9th Tianjun. He said, "Mo Yu, are you going to get lost by yourself or shall this father do it for you? He Qing, you should not act so arrogantly. Xiao Yan is someone the hall chief wants to capture. Are you really going to protect him?" 9th Tianjun coldly demanded. He Qing narrowed his eyes. He rubbed his hands together as he replied in a faint voice, "This father doesn't care about all this. Those old fellows from the clan want me to find Xiao Yan. Since this father is here, everyone should forget about bringing him away." Crack. The fury within the eyes of the 9th Tianjun surged. Both of his hands slowly tightened and emitted cracking sounds. Frightening Do Qi slowly spread from his body. "You wish to fight? All right, the old me also wishes to see if you have improved after so many years." He Qing coldly chuckled. His body became distorted. It emitted a muffled thunder-like bone explosion. Following the sound of these bones appearing, his body became even larger. An extremely powerful pressure was vaguely emitted from his strong body. The 9th Tianjun's eyes twitched involuntarily when he sensed the pressure. He inhaled a deep breath of air and suppressed the fury within his heart. He was aware that he was no match for He Qing with his strength. Even if he attacked, he would not gain an advantage. Moreover, the control over space that an ancient void dragon exhibited was something that no one could match. Even someone stronger than an ancient void dragon would find it difficult to defeat and successfully retain the other party. "He Qing, I don't believe that you can protect this brat forever." The 9th Tianjun spoke in a dense tone. "It is not up to you to be concerned about this." He Qing glanced at him and replied, "HMPH." The 9th Tianjun coldly snorted. His heart was filled with an unwillingness. It was unexpected that he had successfully avoided Yao Chen, but had ended up attracting someone from the ancient void dragon tribe. He did not expect Xiao Yan to have a relationship with this tribe. Since He Qing had shown himself, the 9th Tianjun understood that capturing Xiao Yan had become an impossible task. The 9th Tianjun could only clench his teeth when he thought of this. He stared at Xiao Yan viciously and said, "Xiao Yan, you can't just hide forever. I do not believe that someone will always be there to rescue you." After uttering those words, the 9th Tianjun ceased to remain in this place. He turned around and was just about to leave when He Qing suddenly opened his mouth. "Mo Yu, when you return, inform those people above you not to go against Xiao Yan and the members of the Xiao clan. The grudges between the Han, Soul clan and the Xiao clan have ceased to exist by now. By going overboard, there will come a point in time where all of you will regret it." These words are not spoken by this father. They are spoken by those old fellows within the tribe. The 9th Tianjun narrowed his eyes when he heard He Qing's final sentence. He coldly laughed. "It is pointless telling me this. No one will be able to stop my Hall of Souls from doing anything. The Gu clan cannot, and your ancient void dragon tribe also cannot." The 9th Tianjun's body shook after uttering these words. He transformed into a ray of light and disappeared into the horizon in the blink of an eye. He Qing gently rubbed his fist as he watched the 9th Tianjun's disappearing figure. His expression was cold. A moment later, he turned his head to look at Xiao Yan. He smiled and said, "Little brother Xiao Yan, are you all right? I have troubled old brother to intervene again." Xiao Yan cupped his hands as he replied, "Oh, it doesn't matter. This time around, my ancient void dragon tribe is going to have to trouble you." He Qing shook his head. He hesitated for a moment before continuing, "You will become aware of the exact reason once you have come with me. If there is nothing else, can we leave now? This matter is of great importance. Nothing must go wrong." Seeing that even He Qing, who had a rough character, was acting with such seriousness, Xiao Yan's heart was solemn. Just what had caused the ancient void dragon tribe to become this anxious? "Yes, however, can I bring my friend along?" Xiao Yan pointed at Qing Lin a short distance away. When He Qing appeared, the elder from the Profound Sky sect, who had been entangled in a battle with Qing Lin, swiftly withdrew. He withdrew even quicker when he saw He Qing send Shenluo Gizan's group flying with a punch. That fellow was so frightened that he dared not approach. Yes, it's fine. He Qing glanced at Qing Lin and nodded. Xiao Yan only sighed in relief after seeing a nod. It had only been a short while since the 9th Tianjun had left. He was worried about Qing Lin returning alone. It was naturally for the best that He Qing had agreed. While Xiao Yan sighed in relief, he waved his hand and returned the sky demon puppet, which had been beaten until thousands of scars and hundreds of holes had appeared on its body. He sighed quietly within his heart. The sky demon puppet, which had followed him for a long time, showed signs of becoming scrap. After Xiao Yan stored away the puppet, Qing Lin also returned her experts into her eyes, leaving a frightened Hua Jin standing in the sky. She showed her terror while she looked at He Qing. His might caused her to feel shocked. Young Master Xiao Yan, are we going to let this woman off? It's her fault we were intercepted this time around. Qing Lin softly inquired. There is no time. Xiao Yan glanced at the woman and shook his head. They were pressed for time and he was too lazy to personally teach this woman a lesson. Big brother He Qing, let's leave. Xiao Yan turned to look at He Qing as he spoke. Yes. He Qing nodded. His hand lifted through the air in front of him and tore a spatial crack. Xiao Yan and Qing Lin's bodies entered in a flash. Hua Jin sighed in relief when she saw Xiao Yan's group leaving. She uttered a string of vicious curses in her stomach. However, those curses had just appeared in her heart when He Qing, whose foot had just stepped toward the spatial crack line in the sky, paused. He waved his large hand without turning his head. Waves of frightening forces tore through space and landed on Hua Jin's body in an instant. Grug. An incomparably strong force caused Hua Jin to spit out a mouthful of fresh blood. Her body violently smashed into a mountain. Large rocks rolled down and buried her deep underneath. Do not think that this father will not attack you just because you are a woman. He Qing swung his large hand after sending Hua Jin flying with a slap. He flashed closer to the spatial crack. With a kai sound, he entered it and disappeared with it. If you find any errors, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know so we can fix it as soon as possible.